Let's see. Go live. Record. Okay. I had this up before. Alrighty. I think we're good. Let's see. Everything looks to be, everything looks to be up and running. It says excellent. I know I have had some trouble in the past. It says we are live. Let's see. I have the shareable link. Let's go. Okay, I don't want to hear myself echoing. Cool. The shareable. Perfect. We are live. So I am going to get. Okay, I don't want to hear myself echoing. Cool. All right, I just heard myself on that screen. So we're going to get right into it. I want to keep this to 45 minutes at the max, but we're going to talk about unfucking our operations and how we can do that together in the ops lab. Let me get this going now. There's supposed to be notes on my slides and they didn't copy over, of course. So I'm going to wing it, which is usually better for me to do anyway. So, or let's see. I had a few different versions of this I tried to make. Let's see. Here I've got notes. I think here we go. Cool. If I do that though, I don't see my notes. Let's see. More, draw on the screen, open presenter view. Aha, that's what I want. I want presenter view. Cool. So as I said with most of my live streams, I've got my two monitors set up. I've got things arranged a little bit differently now. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat. If you have questions, please let me know. So let's jump in and get started. We go to, let's see if we go to this screen, if it's going to do what I want. Cool. Right? Almost. Let's see. Bring that in, bring that in. Actually, we'll bring that over there. We got me. Cool. So is this not in full screen? Are we not in full screen mode? Ah, ta-da! There we go. Cool. So where are my other notes? Where's my presenter view notes? Oh, come on. Present full screen. Where were my notes? Presenter. Okay. All right. It looks like it's not fully in. Oh, man. There we go. Cool. Awesome. Welcome. Cool. We are 5 minutes in and we are getting going. So for anybody who just recently joined, hey there, I am Jacqui. I'm going to try to keep this to 35 to 45 minutes. If you have questions, pop them in the chat. I'm going to do my best to answer as quickly as I can. And if you've ever watched any of my live streams, I'm sure we're going to have some technical difficulties. So please bear with me. All right. Now let's get into the ops lab. So I created this group, or I created this community to address a lot of the issues I see with operations. You know, your business is scaling fast, and every day feels like a game of whack-a-mole. Your team is super talented. Your clients are coming to you with more work. You're getting more clients, but as one of my clients said, they were building this house of cards instead of a solid foundation that is going to break soon. You're held together with duct tape, caffeine, Slack threads, and prayers. And it's not going to work much longer, unfortunately. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. Not with another tool, not with just content that I'm going to throw out that you can't interact with, but a playbook that actually works. And the point that I want to hammer home is that you are not broken, but how you work is broken. So that's going to be the theme of today. Awesome. Let's see. Can I put that? Nope. If I put that there, you can see my screen. You can see my notes. I'm just trying to figure out a way to get my notes up with, because my notes up with being able to see the chat and all that sort of thing. All right. I'll figure it out. I wanted this to be a pop-up of I wanted this to be an animated pop-up. Clearly it didn't work, but that, if your day looks anything like this, you're in good company, unfortunately. And if you've ever Googled, how do I organize my business without losing my mind at 2 a.m.? Yeah, I have been there too. I don't know if anybody watches South Park, but they've been making fun of ChatGPT a lot, sitting in bed, talking to ChatGPT. Yeah, I've been there too. And there's a better way to operate, and you know it. But you may not always know where to start. All right, let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. I have used this. I created this fun little picture of how a lot of us feel with our operations. And that's why I created the Ops Lab. This is not going to be a tech stack swap. This is not going to be a set it and forget it thing. This is going to be oh my goodness, a living, breathing, thing that we're going to create together. And this is how we tend to work. We've got 100 apps that don't talk to each other, don't work together well. And then we get mad. We get mad like this guy. So the Ops Lab is a place for really smart founders and leaders who are just tired of white knuckling your operations. All right, cool. So here is what we're going to cover in the next, let's say 30 minutes together. We're going to cover why operations are broken. I want to share a little story about my operations journey. I've found in the past where I've talked to groups and I've said, nobody really cares about me, but I've gotten feedback that my story is really helpful because I want to, well, not that I need to prove myself, but in the world right now of everything is AI generated, and I want you to know that I'm creating this because I've lived it and I've gone through it, and that I'm not just ChatGPTing how to help you with this kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you my journey. I'm going to tell you 3 fixes that you can apply now. And it's really the 3 themes of the Ops Lab. And then we're going to show you kind of what it is about. All right, let's see if these animations work. Cool. So I was the glue that held everything together. So kind of the beginning part of my journey here is in 2011, I lost my job. My dad lost his job, and we had been homebrewing together for a very long time. So we put together a business plan, which took us to about 2014 to start a brewery. We did all of the research. We wrote a business plan from scratch. We got funding from the SBA, the whole 9 yards. We started up a company from scratch. And I left the business in 2019. We sold the business because turns out family business was not for us. But that was really the start of my entrepreneurial journey in operations and project management. So at the brewery, nothing happened unless I touched it. I followed people around with a notebook just to track what they did, because this was before project management software was really a thing. So I tracked what everybody did and prayed that we remembered how to do it the next time. Next along my little path, in 2011, took a little bit of time off, had some kids. I became the agency operations manager for a local here in New Jersey marketing agency. And it was a very fast-paced agency. The team was very smart, but it felt like deja vu. As the ops manager, I was in charge of internal projects, HR. Yeah, it wasn't my thing, but so many moving pieces. And there were no playbooks, no handoffs, just really bright people that were stepping on each other's toes because there was no standardized way to do things. Fast forward then, well, actually not fast forward. Then in 2020, I didn't stay there very long. Then in 2022, I just realized you can't see my shirt because my microphone's in the way. Cool. I got comments last webinar when I posted or wore the shirt. Everybody liked it. So next on my map, I became the professional services manager of a consulting company who was one of ClickUp's biggest partners. A lot of you have probably met me through my ClickUp work. So I ran over, oh my goodness, I helped over 70 companies implement ClickUp, and then I oversaw the team who I oversaw the team of PMs who also implemented ClickUp. So me being me and wanting to fix everything broken, I tried to jump right into fixing everything that didn't seem to work. And I got laid off from that role, unfortunately, which brought me to now. In 2024, I filed the LLC for Productivity Nerd because I want to help with the 3 problems that you're going to see up next. But the point I want to make with all of this was that I realized that I wasn't building anything sustainable really until now. I was just learning how to fight the fires faster. So I did something with my company now that I didn't have time to do before. And even though it's just me as a solopreneur, this applies to any size business. I took the time to document everything I did. I built templates for it, automations, integrations to make the way I work better. And that's really what a system is. A spreadsheet's not a system. A system is a combination of tools, best practices, communication, knowledge management, and putting it all together in a way that works. All right, so that's why I created the Ops Lab. So we're not drowning in Slack messages at 10 p.m. and being everybody's personal FAQ. So here is what I mean by this is not all theoretical. I have lived this, breathed this, all the stories there. That was a terrible segue. So what was my realization here in creating Productivity Nerd was that most business owners were never taught how to operationalize. I'm gonna trademark that word. Operationalize a business, and that apps and tools are not systems. I always like to make an analogy to like woodworking and carpentry. I'm a very amateur woodworker, but a hammer is a tool. But a hammer doesn't mean you can build a beautiful cabinet or a dining room table. You've got to have the skills, the knowledge, the tools, and a plan to make a beautiful cabinet or table, right? And DIY learning is not a sustainable solution. I have to admit, I spent way too much time trying to YouTube and DIY things that I am not very good at. And I've bit the bullet and I have paid for courses, joined groups and things like that to help, because the longer it drags on without a fix, just the more frustrating it becomes. So it is not your fault, but it is, as the business owner and a leader, your responsibility to tackle it and try to fix it. So here is the playbook to unfuck your operations. We're going to get everyone on the same page. We're going to execute projects with a system that people will actually use. And you'll never have to answer, where is that doc again, all without your constant involvement. So the results. What are we doing now and what is this going to look like after we go through this? And I pulled all of these from literal transcripts from meetings with clients and everything that I've gone over with them over the last few years. But daily firefighting becomes, we've got strategies for crisis mode. No consistency in the business becomes, everyone follows a playbook. this is my favorite. I spend more time figuring out what to work on than actually doing the work, becomes you know exactly what to work on by priority in the order that you need to do it. I'm the only one who knows how to do things right, becomes work gets done correctly, the same way, the right way, every time without you having to triple check. And I can't keep working like this. I hear that more often than I wish I did, becomes you've got a well-oiled machine. All right, the 3 Ps, right? Process. Process addresses, we're going to get everyone on the same page. Project management is we're going to execute projects with a system that people will actually use. And then platforms. Never answer, where is that doc again? All right, so let's take a deeper dive into process. This is the first pillar of the Unfck Your Operations playbook. The problem with process, right? 6 people do the same task and it gets done 8 different ways. Every question, decision, thought, anything runs through you, the owner, the leadership team. People don't feel confident or are not autonomous enough to get things done themselves. You're always reinventing the wheel and everything lives in someone's head. And if somebody's on PTO when there's a big project due, you're screwed, right? We've all experienced this. So what is the fix? This is a really oversimplification of the fix, but we're going to document the what. I like using an IKEA example of this. The what, we are going to build a table. The how is the instruction manual. So we're going to document all the things that we do in our business. How we're going to prioritize all of that is a whole nother thing. But what do? We have to send invoices. We have to onboard new clients. We have to deliver the service. We have to write blog articles. We have to develop videos. We have to create trainings. And those are all the what's. The how is the instruction manual for how to get that done. So the what sounds simple on the surface, but just even getting all of that out of your head and onto paper, into ClickUp, into whatever you use is super important. Then we document the how. So what is the unfucked result of this? Everyone knows exactly how to do the thing, and everybody does it the same way every time. So now you've gone from inconsistency to consistent, predictable outcomes. Expectations are clear, so there are no excuses for mistakes. Part of what I always recommend when you're writing out the how or the instruction manual is, what does done look like? What does success or completion look like? I've gone through this with my kids where I say, go clean your room, right? That's not, it's a what, it's not an outcome. And then they come to me and say, Mommy, my room's clean. My two boys are 6 and 7, for context, if you haven't watched any of my videos before. So my boys are 6 and 7 and they come and they say, Mommy, my room's clean. I say, no, it's not. There's shit everywhere. And what I realized was that I did not tell them what clean means. It means books away on your bookshelf, your toys away, your dirty clothes in the hamper. So if you outline what done means, and if they don't do that, you go back to your checklist. And you could stop answering the same damn questions 47 times and go tell people to check the SOP. I love that. All right, so I know, very oversimplification, but we're going to tackle process. Then the second pillar is project management. So what is the problem here that I see, or that we all experience? Inconsistent execution. When I oversaw all of the ClickUp implementation project managers, one thing that drove me absolutely crazy, and I'm sorry if you're watching this, maybe you were one of them back in the day, but every person ran their projects differently. We ran them out of ClickUp, but at the end of the week, when I needed to go through everyone's projects and check to see what was done that week, are there any issues, risks, escalations? Some people put comments in the tasks. Some people used the task description. Some people had ClickUp documents. Some people use Google Docs. It took me forever to just check on people's projects because everybody executed their projects differently. And it was very, very frustrating. From I need to get work done on a daily basis perspective, the problem is I spend more time figuring out what to do than actually doing the work. I hear all the time that whatever tool you're using, and not just for ClickUp, not just for projects, but if you're using HubSpot or ClickUp or Smartsheet or Airtable, or it doesn't matter, but finding out what you need to do is just buried in this digital graveyard of shit. So that's a huge problem. And then also you have no idea what your team is working on, because as the owner, founder, or leader, you still have work to do on a daily basis. And one thing that I would love to change in the world, I hear so often from people who are under, middle managers or not the leadership team, is that we use a tool for our thing, but leadership doesn't. Or leadership will never use this because XYZ. I want to change that because me, as a leader and a founder, I cannot function if I don't have my project management tool to remind me of what to do. So if you've got a system to outline your tasks when you need to do them, your work's gonna get done a lot easier. So what is the fix here? We're going to create templates from the SOPs from step 1. Then we're going to implement a prioritization system, which is my version of Scrum, which I call Scrum Lite. I've got a Scrum 3-day challenge that I can link. If you want to do that, it is free. And what? Oh, the fix. Oh, the results. I didn't put the results. This might be in the wrong order. That's okay. Well, the results of your projects are going to get done much, much faster. Everyone is going to execute them the same way. And maybe that slide will come up next. And you're going to know exactly what to do when you start your day. That's the last thing. So I cannot speak today. I feel like this one has the most problems and is the most deeply rooted issue in so many companies, yet it's the last one to get addressed. When I meet with people, they always want to talk about their broken processes. They always want to talk about their project management systems that suck, but they don't ever want to touch this one. Not that they don't want to, but I think it's such one of those big, hairy, ugly beasts that they'd rather just stick their head in the sand. I don't know. You tell me why nobody ever wants to address this, but everybody complains about it. Everyone complains about this. Ready? Communication is like a game of telephone with drunken toddlers. That you're trying to find a document, a report, anything. Is it in someone's email? Is it in the shared Google Drive? Is it in ClickUp? Is it in somebody's personal Google Drive? Did somebody text it to me? You can't find anything. So because of that, balls get dropped, work's duplicated, deadlines are missed. And this last one, I've been working on this specifically with several clients recently, is that Slack is chock full of requests and tasks that just get lost because, right? So what is the fix here? We're going to audit your tech stack, which means we're going to look at every platform that you have. That includes free platforms, right? Because an issue I tend to run into as well is, we've got ChatGPT, we've got Gemini, and there's ClickUp Brain, and there's Claude. Where did I have a conversation about something? So even though I'm not paying for it, it's still decentralized information. And that's what I used to call this. I used to call it decentralization, but the 3 Ps sounded a lot better. So we're going to audit your tech stack. We're going to consolidate tools, and we're going to define a purpose and use for each tool. Then we will standardize where to store documents, where to communicate, where to manage projects. Again, a very oversimplification. But so what is the result of fixing this? There was a research study that I read by people way smarter than me, that the average company, and I know that's a very generic term, pays for, uses whatever, has 125 apps, and that the average employee only uses 11 of them. It also said that on average, a company spends about $1,100 per person per year on your tech stack. So by consolidating, you could reduce your spend by about 91%, right? That's insane. So for every $1,000 you spend, you could save $910, right? That alone is remarkable, right? But more importantly, for your sanity, you're going to know exactly where to find things because there is one tool for each thing, right? All your documents are in one place. Your communication happens in one place. Your project details are in one place. And critical shit is not lost in text messages, Slack threads, emails, all of that. So, introducing the Ops Lab. There's going to be a membership for business owners and leaders who want to unfuck their operations with peers who get it. And that peers who get it is huge for me. And I hope it's going to be huge for everyone. Oh man, I hope this is still working. Let's see. I just got to pop up that things may not be working well. I hope they are. Oops, I just put the YouTube stream on my screen that I'm presenting on. Well, now you can at least see. The stream's bitrate is higher than the normal bitrate. Well, am I live? Yeah, I'm still live. Okay. We're cool. Alrighty, let me get my notes back up again. All right. Oh yeah, the Ops Lab. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Why? Because you don't need another tool. I hope you've figured that out by now. You need a system and a support group. Remember, you're not broken. How you work is broken. So why did I create this? I created this because, from my experience, running a business or being a leader in a business can be very lonely. When I've been on a leadership team, I'm a very social person, and I like to not be friends, but be friendly and social with the people I work with. But in a lot of organizations, you're not supposed to really do that. And so being a leader, being a business owner can be very lonely. It can feel very isolating when you don't have peers who get what you're going through, right? We are wired for human connection as human beings. So in the Ops Lab, we're going to problem solve, swap advice, share ideas, and unfuck the systems that are holding us back. And we're going to do it together. All right, so inside the Ops Lab, what are we going to do? right? We're going to have monthly themes. And I wanted to have some ready to show you as examples, but I don't. I could always pull it up over then. But common monthly themes. So things like, I should have this all in the top of my head. I'm gonna have monthly themes, and then I'm gonna have also, I'll probably alternate like a monthly theme, like how to do a systems audit, or what do you want to do when you want to nuke everything, or how do we onboard a new client, things like that. So monthly themes, and we're assuming every month is going to have 4 weeks. We're going to do it in this order. The first week, we're going to understand why it's fucked, right? Every person and every company is going to be a little bit different. Then week 2, we're going to design your unique fix. Week 3, we're going to implement it. That says text. That should have said test. Implement and test your fix. And then week 4, we're going to reflect and iterate, right? And then quarterly challenges for fast track fixes, right? We're not out to build the perfect system, but we're out to build a system that you can scale without the duct tape and the caffeine and the prayers. So what you will get, there is a free community, the Ops Lab. And right now the paid version is called Unfck Your Ops, but the Ops Lab is just, I like it. It works. But with the paid version, with the paid membership, we are going to have weekly calls, right? With me and with the group. We're going to have weekly calls. You're going to get access to my entire template library, and you will get access to private DMs with me to get help. So while the Ops Lab, the free version, is still going to be great for community, I'm still going to do the monthly prompts, and you'll be able to collaborate with other business owners and share stories, share wins, brainstorm, spitball, things like that. But you're going to get much more personalized help with the paid membership. All right. This is something that I really want to drive home, that I'm not just building content. I don't think I will ever just build a course and put it out there in the world, right? I'm not just building content. We're creating transformation in a cyclical loop, because the way I have this structured is in kind of 6-month increments that will feed into each other. I can't remember the name of that snake that like eats its tail and it just goes on and on infinitely, but that's the whole point here, or that's the point that I want. That is the structure I want to create, that you can jump in to this at any time, and you're just going to be part of, maybe think of it like a lazy river. You're going to be dropped into the lazy river, and wherever we are, and you're going to be brought along for the ride. So we're not here to create perfection, right? That's something that I have struggled with for a long time. I call myself a recovering perfectionist. So we are not here to create perfection, but we're here to build something that is living and breathing and can grow with you. So what is your future going to look like after you join? Everyone's going to work in the same way. You'll stop reinventing the wheel. And again, this is based on research by people smarter than me, that you'll save at least an hour per week per person. Because again, if you think about how many times you have to stop what you're doing to answer the same question 47 times, how much time do you waste looking for documents that should be in the place that you need them to be, right? I'm sure we all waste at least an hour a day, probably more. We're going to build systems that grow with us, feel in control. I feel like that's a huge one. Like, yes, saving 5 hours a week, that's a tangible thing, but feeling in control is huge. Not to feel stressed, not to have burnout, and the confidence to step away without everything falling apart. One of my clients that I started working with a year ago said to me that it's her and her husband run their business, and they want next year in 2026, they want to take a 2-week European vacation. And they're terrified because they feel like the business everything will just turn to shit. And that's what I want to help you get to. I want you to get to the point where you trust the system, right? Because again, you've got smart people. You got to have a system to plug those smart people into. So I want to get you to the point where you can take that 2-week European vacation with confidence, right? And I created this because I wish I had this back when I started as an entrepreneur. Cool. So here are some of the boring details, right? For Unfuck Your Ops, the paid membership, the first 10 founding members, and what do we have now? I believe we have 3 currently. The first 10 founding members will lock in lifetime pricing of $95 a month or $10.50 a year. After this sounds like way too infomercially. I got to change this, but the regular membership price will be $145 a month or $15.95 a year. All right, now for some numbers, because I know that putting out money for things is really difficult. I feel the same way. I don't ever want to pay for a new app. I don't want to pay for training or anything unless I really, really have to. So I want to show you some numbers. And please keep in mind that these numbers are generic, not generic. Oh my goodness. They are based on, I believe, a 12-person company, which you may be much smaller. I have a how much money are we bleeding calculator on my website that I can show you, but for some numbers. So, okay, this is assuming 13 people a year, or 13 people, which is 12 plus you, the owner, $280,510 per year potential ROI. And again, this is based on $45.54 per hour, which I won't go into how I got all these numbers, but we might see this. All right, so here we go. The what? How did I calculate this? We're assuming we've got a team of 12. Oh, here you go. You can see it right now. Assuming we have a team of 12, 5 hours a week lost per person. We're taking a average salary of $41 an hour. I don't remember how I got to that. Assuming a founder is paying themselves $100 an hour and average projects are bringing you in $3,000 a month in revenue. So again, on the calculator on my website, you can figure out this yourself based on your company size. So how, right? How are we getting to that 280,000? By regaining the 5 hours per week per full-time employee, by regaining the founder time, by completing a project, a month faster. That may be a stretch, but that's all right. And one less hire. And what I mean by that is you don't have to bring in an operations manager. You don't have to bring in another PM. You don't have to bring in an executive assistant. So you're saving money by systemizing. All right, so here is the breakdown. That 5 hours a week per employee is $138K. Founder time, 26. Faster delivery. So again, that's assuming that your $3K a month in revenue per project times 12 is you can bring in $36,000 of extra revenue. And I put $80,000 for a deferred hire. That's probably too high. And actually, I don't think that math lines up. I think in my calculations, that was $60,000 for a deferred hire that you don't have to bring on. So that's how we get to the $280,000 of ROI. Cool. So for $95 a month at, what did I say? So $1,000 a year, even if you're a company of 4 people, even if you're a solopreneur, right? The math makes sense. So here are bonuses for our here are the bonuses for our 10 founding members. You will get a one-on-one call with me when you join to just tell me about what's going on. Tell me about your problem so I get to know you better and I can create a plan of how I can help your unique situation within the group. You will get access to all of my templates, my process library, anything that I use in my business, I'm going to share with the founding members. Actually, all of the process library and the tech stack audit are going to be for all of our paid members. But so for the founding members, we'll get 2 months free. Everyone gets a 1 month free trial. So our founding members will get an additional month for free. So all of this together is a $1,145 value. Now I really do sound like an infomercial. So what is next, right? You did not start your company to become everyone's personal FAQ bot. So are you going to continue to watch YouTube videos and try to DIY everything? Or are you going to join us? I hope you'll join us. So if you join now, this is what it looks like. I've had a bunch of people sign up for the free membership on my website, which is a form, but then never actually get into Mighty Networks, which is what this is on. Which slide? Okay. this slide I should have put up first. So if you join, when you join, even the free membership, you have to create an account on Mighty Networks. So I think this is where, not that I think, this is where things are getting lost in translation. You go on my site, if you find me that way on Productivity Nerd, you fill out my form, so I get your info, but then you have to create an account here. So here you go. This is what it looks like as a founding member. Use the promo code UFO for Unfck Your Ops founder, and that will get you an additional month for free. So you can scan the QR code, or the website is productivitynerd.consulting/become a productivity nerd. Awesome. Cool. So fine print. This is still in beta. I have not worked out every technical detail, but I do have a solid game plan. But I want this to be about the membership. Yeah, I don't want this to be about me, because we're all in this together. I want to bring together the people who want support, are awesome, smart business owners, but I want this to be our membership. So it looks like that is it, which that's pretty fantastic. It is 12:38 Eastern Standard Time. Let me go and show you really quickly what this looks like inside, because I want to show you the structure. Again, I think it's pretty cool. Please keep in mind, like I said, this is still a work in progress. Let me get in here. Okay, can I share the screen? Aha, cool. That's not the whole screen though. All right, can I make me go away for a second? Oh man, that's okay. That does not want to. All right, whatever. So let me zoom in a little bit here. So this is the Mighty Network. When you get into the network, we've got a welcome page. So we got Melissa and her goats. We've got Christy. We've got Jonald. We've got Laura. I haven't met her in real life yet, but Laura, I have chatted with you a whole bunch, so I'll have to figure out how to pronounce your name. We've got me and my crazy family. So then we've got the Ops Lab and then the Unfck Your Ops section. So in the Ops Lab, this is for our free members. This is where we're going to chat about the monthly theme, ask each other questions, work through everything that we're doing for that month. The Ops discussion. My thought here is that if you want to spitball or brainstorm or ask for feedback on your website or feedback on some graphic design, or you've got an idea for a new thing, let's chat about it in the Ops discussion. Announcements. I wanted to have a kickoff call for the Ops Lab because, like I said here, I launched this with no explanation and a lot of people have not been in here yet. So I am rebooting. So announcements there. Promo and share. I have said many, many times, I hate most Facebook groups and I hate most, well, on Reddit, you're not supposed to promote, but I hate most entrepreneur groups because everybody just promotes their own shit and it's so annoying and it's not helpful. But at the same time, if you are in the Ops Lab or in Unfck Your Ops and you are hosting a webinar or you are having an event or you do have an offer, I do want you to be able to share that because these are going to be our people, but we're going to do it in its own space. And then events. We will have events. So everyone who joins, whether you're a free or a paid member, will have access to the welcome, the Ops discussion, no, not the Ops discussion, the welcome, announcements, promo, and share and events. But for paid members, this is, and we have nothing here yet, but let's see. Okay, cool. So this is, here we go. So here are some of the options that I pitched for the first few months of the themes. Managing incoming requests has been one of my most watched YouTube live streams. Wait, why do I have nuke it all twice? Oh my goodness. So the monthly theme here is similar to the Ops Lab up here, but this is where our paid members will live. Wins in progress. I love this. I've been part of several communities where share your wins, share your progress. We want to celebrate with you. Because another thing that I feel like about being lonely in this entrepreneur journey is, when I finally, so much sucks. We fail so many times, right? Actually, I should go back here while I'm saying this, right? As entrepreneurs and leaders, we fail more than we succeed, right? But the few times that we do succeed, I'm not a social media person, so I'm not one of these people who's going to go on LinkedIn and tell you how my latest launch, made me $500,000. No, that's not how I am. And a lot of my friends are not in the position I'm in. So for me to text one of my girlfriends and say, holy shit, you're not going to believe what happened. I just did this thing and it finally worked. And even though they're going to be happy for me, you know what I mean? So I want to be able to share I want us to be able to share wins and progress together. Cool. Office hours. This is going to be where we post recordings, recaps, and everything for the weekly office hours and resource library. This will be links to all of the templates and things like that you will have access to. And also, if you want to book a one-on-one chat just to see if you want additional help, because my main shtick right now is helping clients one-on-one. But many people that have attended either my free workshops or the Scrum Challenge have said that just paying for a one-on-one engagement right now is just not doable for them. But I want to be able to help solopreneurs. I want to be able to help small businesses. I want to be able to help service-based startups. So this is my way to help the people who realize that their operations are a mess, but can't afford a one-on-one engagement, which I completely understand. But if you want to have a chat about, if it makes sense for you, that's what that is for. So wrapping up, thank you so much for watching, for joining. I will put the link. I think the link to sign up is in the description. I hope that you will join us. If you have questions, you can absolutely email me, Jacqui@productivitynerd.consulting. You can put a comment in the video here. If you're on my newsletter, fantastic. You'll get weekly updates from me on situations that are fucked and how to unfuck them. But I'm really excited to build this. I hope that you will join us and help build what this community will be. So I will end it there. It is 45 minutes on the dot. I hope you learned something. I hope maybe you had some light bulb moments on things that you can address. And as always, I hope that this has helped you to be more productive. Cheers.